the hell is going on? Jericho Green hanging out with you people. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. You know what it means. You feel it in your bones. Stop the fuckery. Okay, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise kids, or it takes a village to save this damn country. This world. The world, Craig. And that's what we're doing here. But there's only one of you, Jericho. You know the deal. I don't do this shit by myself. I got the big guns. Ha ha ha, no pun intended. This is Stop the Fuckery, episode 11, Guns. So we bring in my man, my ace boon coon, as my dad would say. GION, sun's out.
Did somebody say guns? Bada boom, bada bing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Jimmy, Johnny.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing it excellent, man. It's good to kind of get back into the flow of everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed the last show, so I was just like over there by myself, and I was just like, oh my god, I missed everybody so much.
Link.
Hey, fuck y'all, dude.
Hey, when I sent you the message earlier, I was trying to think of how to spell yain. So that's why Speaking of the last show, we got to give a big shout out and thank you to Tori D. She was the co-host. She did the best to fill your shoes. She did a great job. So what up, Tori D? If you hear, shout out or say something in the comments, girl. She did a great job. We had a great conversation. We stayed on topic, but then at the end, we kind of got into the there's no such thing as platonic male and female friends discussion. And she said she was in disagreement. She said, no, I have guy friends. I have a guy friend who's really close to me. We've been friends for like 10 years and, all this stuff. And, he has his girls and all that kind of stuff. And that's never, that topic has never been broached and it would never be. And he's my friend. And I tried to tell her the same thing I know you're thinking right now. It's not possible. And if you rang that dinner bell, he would come a running. She was like, no, we would throw away all those years of friendship and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that doesn't matter. He's going to see it as, oh, if you're cool, then I'm down. He's not going to, that all those years of friendship means nothing. And I told her, here's an analogy I use. There's this creature called a water bear, and it's microscopic, but if you look at it, it's shaped like a gummy bear. It has a thick body. It looks like it has little hands and feet and stuff. It looks like a gummy bear, so that's why they call it a water bear. But these things can lay dormant for hundreds of years. I think the episode I saw, it had been laying dormant for 250 years. And was it frozen animation or whatever? But as soon as you put a drop of water on it, it comes to life. And it starts moving around and shit. And when it dries up, it freezes. Hundreds of years, I think, could be there. I said, he's a water bear. He's laying, we'll be friends and all that shit. But the moment you put a drop of water, it's on. She didn't agree at all. No, you're wrong. Okay, so I told her we'll come back on for an update. She's like, you know what? I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to mention that, blah, blah. And she's going to investigate. So I said, when you do, please come back on the show and let us know your findings. But there's no such thing as platonic male and female friends. He's just laying in wait. He's a wolf laying in wait for you to show that moment of weakness. And he's in there, period. Am I wrong, GION? Do you disagree? Talk to me, man.
I agree 200%, man.
200.
Just everything you said is 100% accurate. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, not only have I seen it, but I'm guilty of it my damn self.
Right?
I don't want to get too much deeper on the topic because I feel like we could do a whole show around this.
Maybe we should someday.
But yeah, I think we definitely should. I think that'll be a good topic. But I will say that it's not about even the connection. It's about, can I get it? Mm-hmm. Can I just get it? It don't even have to be, it could be a day. It could be one time, but can I get it? And they will wait until they do, until they can. Absolutely.
It's like one of those videos you see where a leopard is friends with a baby deer and they're playing around. It's a predator and prey. The leopard just doesn't know what it is yet. But the moment it realizes it, that baby deer is dead.
Mm.
It's a predator. You're the prey. You're the little lamb fluttering your eyelashes. Huh? We're friends. Doink, doink. And he is a fucking predator. And the minute he realizes he can get it, it's got. That's just the way it is. I'm telling you. But she wasn't hearing it. She wasn't having it. It's like, all right, Tori D. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Tori put the D in Tori D. Okay. You have somebody who's waiting to put that D in Tori D.
In Tori D. But yeah, that's what we talked about. I hope you guys checked it out. If not, hit that video up. It was a good one. She's a great co-host. We appreciate her. But today, the topic is guns. One of my favorite pastimes. I love to go shooting. I'm busy this weekend, but the next weekend I'm going to take my family out to go shooting every once in a while. There's an outdoor range near here. It's in California, and yes, you can still go shoot outside for now. But it's an outdoor range, so there's no range master. I shouldn't say that because some outdoor ranges do have range masters, but it's BLM, not the disgusting group that was created by two angry lesbians, but BLM, Bureau of Land Management. So it's public land, and you're allowed to go out there and shoot. And it's everybody. I've been out there. You could fit probably 25, 30 people. And there's one section for like if you want to do skeet shooting, there's another section for the rifles, and then the main section is for handguns. But everybody out there, we communicate. It says clear, if you need to go change your target or something like that, clear. Everybody puts their hands up so you know everybody heard us, and didn't just fucking, they didn't hear you. And because, everyone's wearing ear protection. So when you see everybody's hands up, you're clear. It's safe to walk out there, being adults and communicating and keeping yourself safe. And nobody acts a fool. Why? Because everybody has guns. Everybody. And as soon as I wear my holster, and as soon as I get out there, the first thing I do is take one of my guns out and put it in my holster. So yeah, everybody behaves. Everybody has guns. Everybody's safe. And then you get the tweakers out there. It's usually tweakers and old Asian ladies out there picking up the brass. But so yeah, guns are great, man. I teach my kids how to shoot. I'm still teaching them. I'm teaching my wife how to shoot, not only because you're an American and you should know how to shoot, but sometimes the government be tripping. Bitches be tripping and the government be tripping. And, what if I'm not home one night or something? Or when my kids go out on their own and live on their own, they need to know how to defend themselves. Every American who can, unless you're a felon or something like that, you should have a firearm and you should train. And we were talking, GION and I were talking before we came on how there are some things in the works out there to where they're trying to stifle people from training, getting together and training, just like they try to do that shit online where they shadow ban people and all these rules and regulations. Unless you're talking about some crazy shit, they'll let you talk about that. But they don't want us getting together and have a meeting of the minds. Well, they also don't want us getting together and have a meeting of our guns where we're training. And I think if that were to happen, I hope not. If that does pass, then, that's one of the death nails in our coffin. But if it were to happen, all you're going to do is force people to get together in their backyard. You got a friend that has some property or something. You're just going to force that underground. You're not going to stop it. People who have guns are going to train, and you should. There's no such thing as too much training. There's no such thing as too much training when you have a firearm, because number one, it's dangerous. So you need to know what the fuck you're doing, but you also need to know how to shoot that thing, trigger discipline, all that kind of stuff, loading and unloading, cleaning, field stripping it, putting it back together, all the things. You should know everything about your gun. You should be comfortable with your gun. And a couple of years ago, I went to a front sight school in Pahrump, Nevada. There ain't nothing there but the shooting school and a whorehouse and a couple casinos. But it was a 4-day course, and I think we shot 1,000 rounds in 4 days. So they teach you to put your hand, I'm only putting my hand up this high so you can see it, but you put your hand on your stomach when you draw, one hand there, and then you draw your weapon. And they teach you how to, if you're wearing like a baggy shirt or jacket, how to clear that out of the way so you can grab your weapon. And then they teach you when you come out of the holster, you see in the movies, they just come out of the holster like that. But they teach you at the school to come out, and when your arm's still against your body, to turn the gun like this. Because what if they're coming quick and you got to shoot from here? So you're not always going to be able to do this. But you're shooting so many rounds and you're training so hard that people fall asleep with their hand on their stomach, like you're dreaming about drawing. And that's how often you need to do it, to where it's just second nature. You don't even think you're doing it that way every time. So if you have a firearm, train. And if you live outside of California, ammo's still pretty cheap. So buy bulk and get good, because the people that say, oh, well, the Constitution, they were the Revolutionary War and all that kind of stuff, and the 4th of July, 1776, they were dealing with a different time. They were fighting the British. Now, that won't happen. Our government won't do that. That's old. That's antiquated. That was for back then. That doesn't apply now. It applies now, probably more than ever. So guns is the topic of the day, and I'm happy. Sorry, that was pretty long-winded.
No, that's good. That's a good introduction to our Fuckery 5.
Intro.
I think this will go pretty smooth.
Yeah, so let's get that. Let's get this Fuckery 5 going. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I have, or I know, one of the stories that you have in here, because we mentioned it while we were off air. I'm excited to talk about that shit. It's crazy as hell. And again, these are the kinds of things that the forefathers had the foresight to plan for in the Constitution, because they knew that people, times will change, technology is going to be advanced and blah, blah, blah. But people never change. People will always be greedy and tyrannical and evil. So thank goodness that the forefathers were smart enough to see that one coming. So here we go. Story number 1. And guns make sense, so why not have the first story have a rapper in it? They know about that kind of stuff, right? Right? That's what they talk about.
Too good.
That's
I can't wait to talk about this.
They used to talk about Trump, but now he's racist. Anyway, right. Quavo. Every time I say his name, I think about Jose Cuervo. But Quavo, he's part of the Migos, announces Spark Grants program to award $100,000 to organizations in an effort to minimize, here's one of the terms that they took and perverted and twisted it, to minimize gun violence in Atlanta. Oh, stupid. Oh, man, but he has a suit on, so take him serious. Wow. Oof. In partnership with his Rocket Foundation, Quavo has announced the Spark Grants program, intended to support organizations working to minimize community violence in his native Atlanta and beyond. The rapper, who laid the bricks for his career as 1/3 of Migos, founded the Rocket Foundation in 2022 to honor his group member and nephew, Takeoff, who was shot and killed in 2022. The organization sought to end gun violence in America in the fallout of Takeoff's death, and started its work in Atlanta as a jump-off point to further gun control in the country at large. The Sparks Grants will award $10,000 to 10 Atlanta-focused organizations to assist communities and promote the foundation's message, totaling $100,000 in grants. The announcement comes after Quavo met Vice President Kamala Harris. Through his and his family's involvement in the congressional black, there's so much shit. It's like, you ever see the Tom and Jerry cartoon where Jerry puts a rake out there, and everywhere Tom steps, he steps on a rake and just keeps hitting him in the face? Kamala Harris, Congressional Black Caucus, my goodness. Last September in Washington, D.C., the following day, the White House launched the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, another rake, widening the Rocket Foundation's mission statement on gun control. I am honored to launch this grant program to honor Take and the countless families that have been affected by gun violence, said Quavo. The Rocket Foundation will be giving out $100,000 in Spark grants to local orgs dedicated to reducing community violence in Atlanta. There is a lot of important work going on in Atlanta right now, and part of our mission is to uplift these organizations and support them to help save more lives. Organizations can apply for the grants beginning March 20th, with applications due on April 21st. Grant winners will be announced on June 18th, day before Juneteenth, to coincide with Takeoff's birthday and during National Gun Violence Awareness Month, which occurs during the month. Wait a minute. Grants will be announced on June 18th to coincide with Takeoff's birthday and during, so it's in June, National Gun Violence Awareness Month. But I thought it was Pride Month. How are they going to, okay. How are they going to do that? How are they going to convince Pride Month, hey, back off? Anyway, damn, lots of nuggets in that stupid ass article. You met with Kamala Harris. Tell me you're not serious without telling me you're not fucking serious. So you met with that cackling bitch who does nothing. Gun violence, stop it. That term implies that guns are the source of the violence. And if we could just get rid of the guns, if we could just have enough comprehensive gun reform, we can stop the violence in the inner city. And not to mention that Quavo and the Migos talk about what in their music? Guns, bitch, guns. Shooting a nigga, taking off on a nigga, letting a nigga have it. But I'm going to turn around and start combating gun violence. Okay. That shit is so stupid. Gun control, that word makes me sick. Those two words together make me sick to my stomach. We don't need gun control. We need less gun control. We need less infringement from the government. Back off. Fuck off. You don't need to control anything. Magazines, the magazine capacity, background checks. They are, and people always say, well, we need to have background checks. They already have that shit. It already exists. You want me to have another background check? That shit is so stupid. They should be constitutional carry across the country. Are you 18 years old or over? Cool. Go ahead and carry a gun. You can have a gun. That's the problem. All this gun control, it's only controlling us, the average, everyday, normal citizen who is not going to shoot at the ops, who's not going to go up in a school or a mall and kill a bunch of people. It's not in us. And also, when they say gun violence, it implies that if you have a gun, it makes you violent. So even if you're not violent by nature and you're a normal person, you're not a psychopath, won't you get that fucking gun in? I got it, man. I feel like killing somebody. That's ridiculous. That's nonsense. And to be a little more, and to be petty, $10,000, that ain't going to do shit. All right. And programs is not the issue. Like if you have more programs, that's going to stop it. That means nothing. Look at, let's put a community center there. What happens when you put a brand new shiny building in a shitty neighborhood? They fuck it up. They trash it. They spray paint it. They break shit. They steal shit because it's not the structure. It's the people you're putting in the structure. So until you repair the nuclear family and you have mothers and fathers in the home to teach these kids respect, to teach them not to fly off the handle because somebody looked at you or scuffed your J's, this shit is going to continue. There's no value of life. These little niggas have been to 12 funerals by the time they're 12. Death is nothing. Life means nothing. So until you have a father in the home to teach you to control your fucking emotions, you can have all the rocket foundations and spark grants you want. Them niggas are going to keep sparking. GION, you have the floor.
Yeah, man, you said a lot of what I was going to say, but I want to backtrack on something you said real quick and start that with a story before I go in. When you mentioned putting a beautiful, building and pretty much in a shitty area, I have a story for that. When I was working security one time, I was just kind of patrolling the area, and of course you got these two little A4s, the A4, A-Doc, two of those, and I have my flashlight, I'm looking around. and then they're over here tagging on like I don't know if it was like a gate or a wall or something like that, right? And I was like, "The hell are you doing?" I was like, "Get out of here!" And then they were like, "Gentrification, fool," and I'm like, "Yeah, you need this fucking shit, gentrified." I'm like, "This is why you don't have anything nice because you keep fucking it up." That's why. I'm like, who wants to live in a shithole? Like, you're pretty much mad that they're building around this area and making everything nicer, which it is a whole lot nicer, and the crime is less, right? And you're mad at that. So you want to live in a shithole is pretty much what you're telling me. So, anyways, point of that story is the fact that a lot of them choose and decide that that's how they want to live and that's what they want. And so there's nothing that you can do about that behavior because that is behavior. That's not culture. That's just behavior. That's what they're choosing. So I'm like, I don't want to live like that, right? My behavior doesn't reflect that. So I think that's important to understand too, because we're dealing with a lot of those type of people. Now, when it comes to this gun stuff with Quavo, it's funny. I find it funny that after Takeoff dies, now this is the move that you're trying to make. So it took somebody close to you to lose their life for you to decide that, hey, I need to do something about quote unquote gun violence. Once again, gun violence is not a term that actually exists. There's no such thing as gun violence. There's violence. Gun violence doesn't exist. Because if that's the case, we can label anything violence. I can do food violence. I can do rollerblading violence. We're just putting a word in front of violence to make it mean something, and that's impossible to do because it always still boils back down to violence. So let's remove the gun. That's not a thing. That's not a topic. Um, this whole thing with him meeting with Kamala Harris, like you said, means absolutely nothing. That is nothing. That's like that's pretty much what that does is just saying, hey, I want to make up some shit. I want to make up some shit. Let's call it something, right? Oh, you're meeting with the National Black Caucus and blah blah blah. That does absolutely nothing. You cannot throw money, okay, at people whose behavior is shoot them up, stab them, kill them. That's impossible to do because if I already think that way, I'm going to think that way with money. Do you not think that some of these drug members and cartel members, so on and so forth, don't have money? They have money already. This is why they're look. I saw about 3 or 4 Rolls Royces. I believe it was like 3 yesterday. Was it okay? On the street in a place where there should be no Rolls Royces. Do you think they're in real estate?
Probably not.
Absolutely not. So to think that you can throw money at a behavior is insane to me. So they already think this way. They already act this way while they are exhibiting behavior that is quote unquote violent. So saying that, okay, we're going to throw money at the gun violence problem does nothing. We know what you're actually trying to do. What you're actually trying to do is regulate the whole entire gun industry, who can have them, how much ammo they can have, if they can have them at all. You want to limit the ability for people to protect themselves by using a term that doesn't exist, like gun violence. And I want to share this real quick, too. Quick Google search. A lot of people don't know this because we weren't born back then, and you would have to do a little bit of research on this. But in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we never had a gun problem at all. Okay, that was never a topic that existed because guns were a part of your everyday life, Americans' life. A lot of the youth were bringing guns to school, were training with their weapons, and a lot of other places do this today, just not America because we are so feminized today as men. But in the 50s, in the 1950s, kids could bring their rifles to school and they kept them in their lockers for police or NRA safety courses, or 12-year-olds could take their 22 rifles for squirrel hunting in their towns. But today they're telling us, oh, guns are so dangerous. So at what point in American history did guns get so dangerous that kids couldn't have them anymore. Right? Okay, here's another one. Did kids bring guns to school in the 80s? So now we're getting a little bit further from the 50s. In a national survey conducted in the late 1980s, one of every 36 10th grade boys said they had carried a handgun to school in the past year. One in every 100 boys brought that gun to school every day. If you go back and do some research, you will see there were no school shootings at all when this happened. But when you remove the ability to protect yourself, so we have gun-free zones, now you have gun-free zones where people are going to target because you don't have a way to protect yourself. So they go and they commit gun violence. We're using their terminology, okay? And then they say, we have a gun problem. But at the same time, we have rappers like Quavo saying, well, not even saying, they're literally talking about this and rapping in their songs, like you said, about shooting people and doing drugs and all this other stuff. And you want to have a 360 or a 180 and say, we got to do something about this gun violence.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you stop talking?
Yep.
How about that?
You've perpetrated these kind of situations. You've been the soundtrack to some of these shootings, and now you want to say, now that it's hit you close to home, now you want to have, and you're not doing anything. There's a raging forest fire, and you got a shot glass full of water that you're throwing on it. You ain't doing shit, and you know you ain't doing shit. This is a photo op. This is a chance for you to look good. You ain't gonna do shit in Atlanta. Atlanta is a fucking festering wound on America's taint, just like a lot of these other fucking cities. It's wild down there. So since they say gun violence, the gun is the source of the violence, correct? So I was told that you can't show guns on a live stream. Okay, but listen to this. I'm gonna have it near the microphone. Okay. This came out here. These are the things that come and get you when you pull the trigger. So, okay, that is right here next to me. So that means if guns are the source of the violence, at some point, this thing is going to hop up and shoot me during this live stream. So tell my family I love them. GION, it's been great. I love doing the show with you, man, but I'm going to die. Okay? Yeah. So there it is right here in arm's reach. So pretty soon it's going to jump up and shoot me. So don't be surprised. I don't want anybody to scream when it does, right? Because you've been warned. The gun is in here, so it's going to shoot me. But the shit is absolutely ridiculous, man. And speaking of ridiculous, I think this next story, we can file this under redonkulous. This is more than ridiculous. This is appalling. This will flabbergast you. And if you haven't had your drop of anger blood today, where you get so fucking mad when you see a story that a trickle of blood comes out, this will do it for you. Don't you worry. I'm gonna give you gonna get your anger blood. Okay, you ready? Bam. Here we go. Not that stupid dog.
Come on, Fido. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Boy. I just read the first little part.
Here we go. Illinois judge rules illegal migrants can carry guns. So if you come here illegally, and another thing we were talking about before we came on, if you're here illegally, that means anything you do here would be illegal, right? Because you are here illegally. You are not supposed to be here. A federal judge in Illinois appointed by Barack Obama ruled that the Constitution protects rights of non-citizens who enter the U.S. illegally after a Mexican immigrant living in Chicago was found in possession of a handgun.
What?
U.S. District Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman ruled earlier this month that a federal ban on undocumented migrants owning firearms is unconstitutional and dismissed charges against Heriberto Carvajal Flores, who was arrested in 2020 after violating a federal law that prohibits non-citizens from possessing guns. Federal law, that means the whole country says no, but this bitch says yes. Coleman ruled that since Flores has no criminal record and the circumstances behind his arrest were nonviolent, he should not be deprived of his Second Amendment right to bear arms in self-defense. It's his right now. Now, once you're here, you get all the amenities of being an American citizen. He was charged under Title 18 of the U.S. Criminal Code, which bans non-citizens from possessing firearms and ammunition or to receive any firearm or ammunition which has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce. Flores maintained that he purchased the firearm. Here's some irony for you. Flores maintained that he purchased a firearm for self-defense and protection of property during a time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020 during the height of George Floyd protests across the nation. While Coleman previously denied Flores' motions to dismiss the charges, he later asked the court to reconsider following the Supreme Court's decision in Bruin, which ruled that New York's law against carrying a pistol in public violated a constitutional right, as well as several smaller court decisions that considered whether people convicted of nonviolent crimes can be prohibited from having firearms. Coleman then concluded that Flores's immigration status was not cause to deny him Second Amendment rights, noting that the plain text of the Constitution presumptively protects firearm possession by undocumented persons. Flores has never been convicted of a felony. Ooh, congratulations, bitch. A violent crime or a crime involving the use of a weapon. Most people haven't. Even in the present case, Flores contends that he received and used the firearm, the handgun, solely for self-protection and protection of property during a time of documented civil unrest. Additionally, pretrial service has confirmed that Flores has consistently adhered to and fulfilled all the stipulated conditions of his release, is gainfully employed, and has no new arrests or outstanding warrants. Well, congratulations, Flores, on being a normal fucking person. Most people buy guns to protect themselves and their property. Most people do not or have not committed violent crimes with or without a firearm. Congratulations for not being a piece of shit. But you came here illegally. So our Constitution and our constitutional rights therein is what makes America special. It's what makes us that porch light that attracts all the fucking mosquitoes, that and the moths. That's what makes us special. That's what separates us from other countries, even other Western countries. Canada, they have a constitution-ish. Other countries have a kind of a constitution, but it can be overruled with the snap of a fingers by their prime minister or president, whatever the fuck they call him. That's why Trudeau last year said no more sale, transfer, or import of handguns. He just said it there. King Trudeau made it so. So their constitution doesn't stand up to that. That's what makes us special. So if you give it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes here, then it's not special, huh? So therefore, it should not extend to illegal aliens. That's like having a classroom and everybody who gets an A on their test gets to have a pizza party. And you dumbasses who get an F get to have pizza too. Well, then it's not special. Then why did I work so hard? Why did I earn it if we can all get it? If the fuck ups can get it too? No, that's ridiculous. The Constitution pertains to American citizens, whether you're naturalized or you took the time and the test and paid the money and waited and you became a citizen. That's who it's for. If you're not here illegally, you don't get shit. Why they're getting EBT cards and debit cards and housing, and you got Chicago giving up to $9,000 to these bastards to find housing. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what you get if you come here illegally? A ride home. That's what you get. You get sent back home, bitch. We don't owe you anything. We drop you off on the other side of the border. That's what you get. And we'll give you, some like sack lunch. When you went on a field trip in school and the kids who got hot lunch, they brought you a sack lunch. We'll give you a sack lunch with a bologna sandwich, a piece of fruit, maybe a little pudding snack or some shit like that, and a Capri Sun, bitch. That's all you get. Why do you get the benefits of being an American citizen when you're not? And you know the guy's illegal, and Bob K. MIT asked a great question. How did he buy that gun legally? You mean to tell me that if you want a gun illegally, you can get one? Get the fuck out of here. Obviously, those who want it will get it. Those, if you want a firearm, you'll get one, whether legally or illegally. But to give these people the benefits of being an American citizen is bullshit. Then what's the point of being a citizen if everybody can enjoy it? No, man, you don't get one. If you don't like that, either leave or become a citizen. Case closed.
Yeah, I mean, I highly agree. Wow, this one is not surprising, I guess, when you know kind of what the agenda is here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, how do I put this? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anywhere in the Constitution where it says Americans have the right to bear arms. Okay, that means you're American. And if you're not American.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know anywhere where it says that. Now, what they could be getting away with here is the fact that they're on American soil, which is going to bring us to a whole nother issue. Because I know, for an example, if you are, let's say your parents were born in Mexico, but you were born in America, you are now technically American. That type of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is what problems this brings, because they're obviously trying to remove the Americans that are here and their right and their ability to bear arms, at the same time saying that illegals from all over apparently can bear arms. And then now I would have to look at how easy is it for them to get weapons or to get guns, because that's a whole nother problem in itself there as well. Is how are they getting them and where are they getting them? Because aren't they over here at the same time preaching about background checks?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're here illegally, what background do you have? Because it's not an American background, because we don't even know where you're from. These people are not just coming from Mexico. They're coming from all over. China and Haiti and different, all the places in Africa you could possibly think of. People are being just replaced, misplaced, and placed. And that just brings a whole nother level of issues, because we're not even talking about the fact that they are allowing them to become police officers, and I think in California now too, but I know like in the city of Chicago, I believe they're doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have to, what are they going to be, police officers with just batons, with mace? No, they would have to carry weapons. How are you allowing people who are not supposed to be here to have all the amenities of being here? That doesn't make any sense unless you have an agenda to replace. That's really what this is. It's replacement. And we're not talking about replacement theory. There is no theory there. This is literally replacement in every way, shape, or form. Because me living in LA County, to even own a firearm, to go through that process is so much harder than it would be in, like, let's say a Riverside County or an Orange County in California, if you guys don't know where that is. Because LA is so it's so liberal Democrat, they're making it damn near impossible for you to be able to protect yourself in all different types of laws and policies. But if you're illegal, then now what? Because I'm not illegal. So if I am illegal, now what? Do I just go to a pawn shop? Where do I go to get this weapon legally? Go through the process, the background. It doesn't make any sense. What this is going to do in the long run is going to cause crime to go up more. They're probably not even going to say crime is going to go up, because they're not going to arrest these people. They're not going to do, there's going to be no consequence for anything that they do. This is obviously an agenda. None of this is incompetence. None of this is, oh, we just didn't know. We were just trying to be humanitarians. No, this is done on purpose. This was planned out from the beginning. And when Trump was saying that they were going to bring not their best, what the hell do we see now that these people are here? We don't see women and children. We see men. We see crime going up. We see illegal immigrants really getting detained left and right and then released. So what's going to happen when you allow them to own firearms? A whole lot worse. Because now we're talking about quote unquote legally, where if you stop them, they can get away with that. It's just, this is a bridge. This is a pathway to hell on earth, honestly. Well, hell in America, if we haven't already experienced that for the past 4 years.
Yeah, that girl, Laken Riley, the guy who killed her, he had been detained twice by law enforcement and released. Two things you said that I want to expand on a little bit. Number one, you said replacement, right? Okay. Well, let me show you a little bit of replacement because they're not hiding it. It's like you said, it's not a theory. It's happening. And here's high def footage of it happening. This is at the border, El Paso, Texas. Look, I don't see no women out there with babies on their hip. Bunch of men tearing through the barrier, tearing through razor wire, fighting with the National Guard. Why does the National Guard not take their M4s, step back, and lighten their magazines? Look at that. Look at that. We're not being replaced. Replacement theory is bullshit, not based on what I just saw. And then you mentioned something. You and I love this, but the government hates it because it's such a pain in the ass. But you mentioned this stupid constitution, right? I know it's dumb. It's, you know, the old guys, old white guys, slave owners got together and they said a bunch of stupid shit. But amendments to the Constitution of the United States of America. And I think there's a bunch of them, but I want to focus on the second one, if you will, if you don't mind. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people, that's me and you, everybody watching, to keep, that means own, to keep and bear arms. Here's my favorite part. Are you ready, Gian? Do you have a minute? Shall not be infringed, meaning you can't fuck with it. You can't modify it. You can't change it. You can't tweak it. You can't take it away. Shall not. I love those 4 words. If I say it again, I'm probably going to make a mess in my pants. Shall not be infringed. One more time. I know you guys are busy. Just give me one more time. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and, not or, and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Hallelujah.
Thank you for letting me read this stupid. I know these papers are dumb. They don't mean shit. They're old, but I like to keep them around. So that means shall not. You can't mess with it. That's telling us that it's our God-given right to keep and bear arms. We, us American citizens, not just anybody. And if you have somebody who allowed you into the greatest party the earth has ever seen, and they tell you if you want to stay, you need to do A, B, and C, or what are you going to do? Go back? You're going to go back to shitting in the ground? You're going to go back to whoever's in charge being able to come into your business or your home and take whatever they want? Your loved ones and neighbors being shot dead in the street with no reciprocity? No. You're going to stay right. What do I got to do? I don't give a shit anyway. I didn't work to get here. I don't give a fuck about America. Sure. Point me at him, them over there. And you mentioned the military. Yeah, we can come in our military. We'll do whatever you say. Because you think, man, if there was a civil war, you know, us versus the government, then would the people in the military turn their guns on their fellow countrymen? Probably not. But you know who would turn their guns on us? Some people who aren't American citizens, who weren't born here, who don't take part and apply our culture, who didn't grow up having Christmases and birthday parties and going to the park and Thanksgiving and all the things that we have in common as Americans. That's who would do it. That's who would take those M4s and those howitzers and point them at American citizens and blow us off the fucking map without a second thought. That's who would do it. So if you pack our military with either freaks who join to get their dicks cut off or a bunch of people who aren't from here, that's a problem for us. That's why they're infringing. That's why they're taking our guns. That's why you have laws in California that make you put this stupid plastic fin on the handle of your AR-15 so you can't be a mass shooter. Fucking replacement theory, my ass. Drop the word theory.
I wanna add on to that too, real quick, is because we are looking like the UN. America is. What is America? What's the whole demographic? Once again, you just said replacement. We're all being replaced. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is or not, because if you identify as an American in this country, which you are being replaced by people who are un-American. So much that our government and our government officials and our government politicians themselves are not American. And Jericho, you know exactly what I mean, because these are people, and I'm not going to tell you where they're from. Just know you could do that research on your own. They have dual citizenship to a whole nother place.
Are they in a conflict right now? Their home country? Are they in a bit of a scuffle?
Yeah, it could be. You could call it that. You could call it that, but is it? You know what I mean? Okay. Let's put it like this. They are the grass cutters. Okay. They're the lawnmower. All right. And the other side is the grass. Let's put it like that. You'll know who I'm talking about.
Wow. Well, here's some more bad news for you people. Colorado assault weapon ban passes through first committee. Now there is some hope because it's not law, but it passed through the first committee. And of course, Colorado is a Rocky Mountain shithole. So no surprise there. It's California, a little bit east. But step one, complete.
I don't know if you saw what I saw, Jericho, but who I was just talking about was on that pin in that video. I was like, oh, wow, the timing is so interesting.
Hey, it's all about the timing, GION. It's all about the timing. So a bill that would ban the manufacturing, you can't even make them, and future buying or selling of an assault weapon introduced in the Colorado General Assembly has cleared its first committee and will now go to the House floor. The bill defines assault weapons, which include dozens of specific models, including but not limited to AR-15, AK-47s, and a number of weapon features. It also lays out a number of exemptions. Possession of the weapon wouldn't be banned if you already own them, but it would ban the future purchase, importation, and sale of it in Colorado. The bill defines assault weapons as, get this bitch out of here, as a semi-automatic rifle with a detachable magazine and one or more additional features such as a pistol grip, folding, telescoping or detachable stock, muzzle brake, or a threaded barrel, among other features. It would also include pistols with certain features, semi-automatic shotguns, and 50 caliber rifles. So basically, all the fun shit, all the accoutrement, all the accessories you want to add to your guns, got a railing system, you will put a light, pistol grip, and a lot of the times, yes, it's the functionality, but it also looks cool. An AR-15 with a pistol grip, that shit looks cool. The optics on it and shit, it looks cool. I have a Mossberg 500 with a pistol grip on it. That shit looks sick. Yeah, we did that. Democratic State Rep Tim Hernandez, always so happy. A sponsor of the bill said on X of its passing through the House Judiciary Committee, next stop, House floor. I imagine that's how he talks. We did it, sisters. The vast majority of Americans and over 80% of Democrats support an assault weapons ban and are fed up with weapons of war in our communities. He said in a statement early Wednesday morning after the vote, "My entire childhood, I was afraid to die in school because adults wouldn't be bold enough on guns. And those fears only grew when I became a teacher and I saw my students struggle with those same anxieties. We must take action to protect our communities, especially our students, from the death and destruction assault weapons inflict on many innocent people." So you and your students were a bunch of pussies. It was immediately clear when it would go to the House floor for a full vote, but the bill passed through, or it wasn't immediately clear, but the bill passed through that committee with a 7-3 vote along party lines. Testimony lasted all day and the vote didn't occur until just after midnight. Oh, I love how they do that shit when everybody's asleep. Hernandez and other supporters of the bill, including co-sponsored Democratic State Representative Elizabeth Epps, said that banning assault weapons could help reduce the number of victims in mass shootings, if not the number of shootings themselves, even though most of those quote unquote mass shootings occur with pistols. HB 24-1292 will stem the proliferation of firearms most commonly used in public mass shootings and takes a powerful step to interpret the uniquely American epidemic of gun violence. I almost said the F word and not the F-U-C-K. Epps said in a statement, Colorado is home to too many now infamous sites, schools, theaters, nightclubs, clinics, grocery stores, places now forever associated with mass shootings. Prohibiting assault weapon sales is a necessary step to prevent more tragedies. Lessening the spread of these weapons is overdue policy change, not just more thoughts and prayers. The bill's introduction brought out roughly a couple hundred gun rights supporters in a protest organized by the Rocky Mountain gun owners. This is why, I don't want to get sexist, but this is one of the reasons why I don't believe women should be in positions of leadership like this, or politics, or pussy men, because the guns aren't the fucking problem. How many people are killed every year by criminals? They don't give a shit about your laws, and you can't have this and you can't have that in high capacity. They don't give a fuck. They're going to get them because they're criminals, especially if you're hell-bent on murder. You're going to get it. Your gun laws don't do anything but hamstring those of us who need to protect ourselves from said criminals, you stupid bitch. And to be, I was scared my whole childhood. Oh, I bet you fucking probably had a lot of soy and you breastfed till you were old enough to drive, you fucking weirdo. And my daughter the other day, she comes home and says they had a shooter drill. I said, what? What did they make you do? Oh, we had to get under the desk and stuff, and the teacher locked the door. I said, and I told her, that's ridiculous. The chances of that happening are slim to none, and they're doing nothing but making you guys scared. The chances of you having a school shooting are almost non-existent. They shouldn't be having you do stupid ass drills like that that are doing nothing but scaring you. And when you have children with weak parents who are scared of their own shadow, they're going to grow up like this pussy representative. Oh, my childhood, I grew up scared and had anxiety. Shut the fuck up. That's bullshit. The shooter drills are bullshit, and they shouldn't do them. What you should do, and I explained this to my daughter, what you should do is have armed security. And I told her, I said, are you familiar with the war in Ukraine? She said, yes. I said, one time, as a matter of fact, we just sent them $60 billion in that stupid bullshit omnibus bill of $95 billion. $60 billion went to them. I said, but before that, we sent them $50 billion. And I said, there's 139,000 schools K through 12 in America, including public and private and charter schools. There's 139,000. If you took that money, hold on 1 second. So 50, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 50 billion divided by 139,000 is $359,000. $359,712 to every single school in the country, public, private, or charter. Let's say $400,000 to each of those schools. Do you know how many security guards you could pay ex-police, former soldiers, some poor soldier that was hit by an IED or wounded in combat, they lost an eye, an arm, a leg, and maybe they can't serve in the military anymore, but you think they can't strap a fucking AR-15 and a flak jacket on and patrol these schools? You do that shit, you're not going to have any more school shootings because mass shooters are pussies. They attack these gun-free zones that GION mentioned. You don't see them running up in a military base. You don't see them running up in a fucking gun store or a gun convention. You see any mass shootings at a gun fair in Texas? No, because everybody has guns. You want to stop that bullshit? Put armed security at each school and that shit wouldn't happen. You think these soldiers wouldn't come back to their community with their kids going to these schools, their neighbors' kids going to these schools, or they have kids of their own? You think they're not going to get in between them and the bad guys? There would be no bad guys because they're not going to do that shit. They're going to find some pussy gun-free zone in a Democrat shithole and do it there. But they bring out the children. They tug at your heartstrings. We have nothing to back this up. These are all emotions. They're going to kill your children. If you don't pass this law, somebody's going to walk in your kid's classroom and shoot them. So a bunch of dumb, scared sheep go, oh, we can't have this. Next thing you know, you can't have a gun either, you stupid son of a bitch. That's almost 400 grand to all 139,000 schools to pay security. You pay one of those dudes $40,000 for 10 years off of one chunk of money that we sent 6,800 miles away to protect their border, to protect their citizens. They don't give a shit about us. It's about their power. And even if in their leftist wet dream, even if they were to pass all of these gun laws and outlaw assault rifles, whatever that is, and they all pass and they can enact all these rules and all this comprehensive gun reform, do you think for 1 second that these crooked motherfuckers are going to have their personal security lay their guns down? You guys can only carry 10 rounds in a magazine. You can't have a pistol grip. You can't have optics. You think their security that protect their sorry asses are going to abide by any of these rules? Hell no. Please, Jim, please talk to him.
I mean, you pretty much said everything that I felt. I mean, this is another attempt to take away gun. As you said in the past story, shall not infringe. What are they doing? And why are they doing it? Why are they trying to do it? So at the end of the day, we're going to probably see more of this, and we're going to see more of the excuses of what about the children? Gun violence. Guns are bad. Crime. We got to do something about the crime. At the same time, you're creating an environment for crime to fester because you're allowing crime to happen. You are releasing criminals. You are not arresting people and locking them up. You are arresting them and then they're leaving within an hour, going back on the streets to commit more crimes. This is the environment that they're creating, but and they do this all the time in mainstream media, but a lot of people don't pay attention to it. They just did this with Donald Trump in this bloodbath comment stuff.
Yep.
It's called spinning the narrative, but he was talking about the auto industry, and they removed that and was like, he's talking about the country. And then in the same, I think this was, what's his name? He's another one that's awful. Jim Acosta was like, oh, well, what did he say about the migrants and saying that they're animals? He never said that. Okay. They spinned it to make it sound like he was saying stuff that he was not saying. So what's happening is when they get on TV and they lie about crime and say, oh, crime is down. First of all, I'm not stupid and neither are my eyes. I can see crime is not down. But the reason why they can say it, even though they know they're full of it, is because they're actually not arresting these people. Therefore, the crime is not being logged. They are allowing up to, and they might have even changed this to higher by now, but the last time I checked, it was up to $900 of merchandise or property that they're allowed to take in stores. Now,
Yeah,
my
950.
that's almost $1,000. So I can stop at 949 and be like, I'm good. That means I can take an Xbox and a PlayStation, and nothing's gonna happen to me. So fantastic. Now I'm not gonna disclose who, but family member of mine is in law enforcement, and he works security as well, on the side. And he tells me he works in LA, all these different places that need security, and they need it there. And he's always telling me every day there are people going in there shoplifting, taking stuff all the time, up to all different, and they don't. It has to be a certain point of merchandise that they get to in order for them to act on it. This is a policy that's being put in place to allow crime to fester. So if you think about this on a daily basis, the average person who is level-headed, like me and you and everybody else who's on here, we're not going to go around commit crimes, gun violence, quote unquote, and all this other stuff. These are the people who are doing this are the people they're allowing to do it. So removing, trying to remove, trying to infringe on our gun rights is not changing the scenario that they are creating for everyday life for American citizens. They're creating this, they're creating the problem, we react to it, and then they try and go and give you the solution. Problem, reaction, solution. They do this every single time. Kathy Hochul just did this in New York with the subways. She said, "Oh, we got to do something about this crime that I created, okay, that we've created," and then goes and sends the National Guard. And I know you did a video on this. And then she says that you can't have long guns.
Yeah.
She tells the National Guard basically that they can't be the National Guard, which makes no sense at all. So there's once again problem, reaction, solution. But even sending the National Guard is creating a militarized, quote unquote, police state. So they're just creating the problems constantly, and then they're trying to say, okay, this is what we're going to do to fix it. More government, more overstepping, more overreaching. They do this all the time. That's pretty much what I see this quote unquote bill as: more overreaching, more overstepping. We got to create the problem so that we can give them the solution. That's pretty much all this is. They do it every time. So we're not going to stop seeing school shootings or these public mass quote unquote shootings until they can successfully get the guns. They're going to keep doing the same tactics over and over and over again. They're going to play at your heartstrings. What about the children? But don't forget, and Jericho mentioned this, and we talked about this before we got on, and I'm in my spew here, that these are all happening in gun-free zones where people don't have weapons. Because let me add one more thing too. When I watch movies, whether it be with family and all this other stuff, I make sure they pay attention to this. It could be a hostage movie, it could be a war movie, it could be a horror movie. Do you know what always ends up protecting those people is the guns? Because if you are in a situation where you're a hostage, the only reason why you're a hostage is because the other people or that other person has a weapon, has a gun. If you are being chased by zombies, would you rather have a broomstick or a gun? So the gun is the most important thing, and there's a reason why there's an attack on that Second Amendment in this country and on the American citizens, because they know that that is what is protecting us from the tyrannical shit that they're trying to do with the agenda that they have.
Exactly. And a gun is the ultimate way to say no. If you have a gun, somebody tells you to do something, no. Now what? You're either gonna stop fucking with me, or we're gonna both have to see what happens. I'm gonna have to use my gun. Period. And I used to do stories when I would do my live streams every day. I do a segment called Good Gun. where it told a story about how a gun saved somebody, elderly people, women home alone with their children, people running their business on, in a building or on, a vendor or something like that. And that gun kept them alive because these monsters, these demons who well up from the depths of hell and rain this shit down upon us, what do you think they're going to do to you? You can't take that chance. You can't take the chance that, hey, they're just going to take my money. Well, they broke into your fucking house when they knew somebody was there. You think all they're going to do is take your money? They might take something else. They might take your virtue, or they might even take your life. You going to take the chance? Hell no. You're getting a tag on your toe, not me. And when you mention people being able to steal up to $950 worth of shit, I talked to a buddy of mine who's a police officer, and at least in California, I'm sure if it's not yet, it's coming to a theater near you. But in California, they can go into your store, let's say a Target or something, steal $949 worth of shit, take it outside and stash it, and then come back in and steal another $950 worth of shit. And here's the bullshit commie pinko cherry on top. The DA is not allowed to stack those charges. They can't say, okay, you did 5 of these. Well, we're going to take these 5 misdemeanors and hit you with a felony or put you in jail longer. They can't do that. It's bullshit. You're emboldening and empowering. I know they say, yeah, girl, if you bend over and show your birth canal to men, that's empowering. This is real empowerment. You're empowering the criminals who aren't scared. What happens when there's no fear of consequence? They start doing whatever they want, because what? They can assault you. I even asked the cop this. I said, so what happens if you're walking down the street and some homeless asshole comes up and knocks you out? He said, well, as long as you don't get injured, like you fall and hit your head or something like that, it's a misdemeanor. Or let's say they don't knock you out. They just punch you in your face and break your nose, or punch you in your face and bust your lip. As long as there's not serious damage, they'll be cited and released. You're still sitting in the ER to get your nose straightened, and they're back out on the street, and they don't want you to have a gun. Shit. Let me say that. Let me break that into 2 syllables. Shit. Yeah, right. I'm going to be out with my family and not have the means to protect them? My family's going to be, Daddy, what? Don't worry about it. Get behind Daddy. I'm going to take care of this shit. We're going home. That motherfucker's not going home. We're going home. We're going to watch a movie and chill tonight. We're going to eat some popcorn tonight. We're going home. That motherfucker's not. Are you kidding me? They want us to just lay our weapons down, and then you got dumbass people who are like, yeah, take my weapons. I don't need them. I'll just call the police. The police are a reactionary force. You're already fucked up by the time the cops get called. You're in your closet. He said, fuck that. Man, shit. These people are crazy. You think, all right, I'll go to jail. I think prison is the scariest place on earth. But I will whistle Dixie and walk into that bitch with a smile if I have to lay somebody down to fucking protect my family. The fuck, man, please. I've never been in a holding cell. I've never been in jail. I've never been in the drunk tank. I've never been in prison. But I will walk in that scary motherfucker with no problem, my head held high, if I got to do something to protect my family. Shit. What am I not going to do it and let something happen to my beautiful children and my wife? Man, please. You guys got me confused with JERICHO Green. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's your job. That's your duty.
Fuck it, fool.
Dude, shit. You little bastard. Oh, fuck it. Man. Okay, anyway. Teen sends Florida spring break into chaos after pulling gun on packed beach, running through crowd with a weapon. Let's see what this crazy little bitch looks like. And by the way, people, niggas come in all different shades. Remember that. A teenager pulled a gun during a fight on a packed Florida beach in the midst of spring break this week and then ran through the crowd with the weapon in his hand. I thought Miami made a commercial saying, "Don't come down here." Guess that didn't work. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. People shouted as they ran in different directions on New Smyrna Beach on Thursday. A deputy from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office quickly intervened and barked orders at the gunman. "Drop the fucking gun! Drop the fucking gun!" The deputy screamed at the suspect, who is seen in body cam footage running from the officer. I'm not going to tell you again. The deputy chased him through New Smyrna Beach while still ordering him to drop the gun, as other law enforcement officers joined the foot pursuit and pushed back hordes of spring breakers. The gunman, later identified as 16-year-old Felixander Solis Guzman, ran into the water about knee-deep, where he stood for several minutes. Several minutes? Body cam footage shows law enforcement officers with their guns drawn lined up along the beach. Guzman finally dropped the gun in the water and officers closed around him, but the deputy yelled for them to back up in case he had another weapon. When backup arrived, when backup arrived and officers took cover behind open police car doors until the tense 5-minute standoff came to an end, Solis Guzman complied with officers' orders and surrendered with his hands up. He was arrested without further incident. Deputies found the gun and a bag with 20 small plastic baggies of marijuana, according to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Behind the police body cam footage caught a glimpse of the large crowd soaking in the sun in New Smyrna Beach, a coastal Florida city about 15 miles south of Daytona Beach. Guzman was arrested and charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer, possession of a firearm by a person under 18, improper exhibition of a firearm, commission of a second-degree felony with a weapon, resistant law enforcement, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, and sale of marijuana and a partridge in a pear tree. The teenager also had 7 active no-bond warrants out of Orange County, including robbery with a firearm.
Wow.
This little bastard wasn't even old enough to get one, and guess what? He had one. A little dope boy selling weed on the beach during spring break. Look. Here at Stop the Fuckery Enterprises, we do not condone police brutality. But all of those counts, this fucking little punk, this peach fuzz over his lip, hello, cracking voice, fucking punk, is running through a crowd of people with a gun. I would not be mad if all of those cops who were there pulled him out of the water and did this. Right? He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that for endangering those people's lives and being a menace to fucking society. He didn't deserve that. Well, if he didn't deserve that, maybe he deserved this. Damn, he tore that fucking jawline up. He didn't deserve that. He could have shot somebody. You think that little bastard goes to the range? You think he practices with his weapon? No. You think he has trigger discipline? No. I'm just saying, in a land far, far away, if the cops would have turned off their body cam and whooped his fucking ass, I wouldn't have lost any sleep. Maybe, would you have lost any sleep, John?
No, I probably would have slept very peacefully. It would have been like, you're an ocean, you're a cloud. That's what I've been hearing.
Wow.
Unreal.
So what do you think of that article, Gian?
Obviously ridiculous. I mean, what you said, I agree with. Once again, behavior. It said teenager. Did it say he was 17, 18?
16 years old.
Behavior. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than behavior. What would possess you're going, look, the beach is supposed to be a peaceful, serene place. You're supposed to connect with nature there. It's supposed to be one with the earth and the water. You know what I mean? And you go there with what intention as a 16-year-old? Not even to like look at women, right? Like as a young male, you're not even like, man, there's gonna be plenty of beautiful women over there, man. Let's go hang out at the beach. You're carrying. Look, he has a background of robbery with a firearm prior to this, and he's 16 years old. And you have somebody like this in a public place. Once again, where you're supposed to be serene, peaceful. Some people go there with their families, and this is the type of behavior that you exhibit here. It's just, it's like a repetitive cycle. I'm almost tired of talking about it. Doing this show, doing STF. We've had a lot of. It's literally, that's what it's about. Stopping the fuckery. We've had a lot of fuckery on this in terms of the stories that we went over, and they never seem to just cease to amaze me at this point. It's like it's always the same type of thing almost that we're coming across. This is I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. And it's, once again, we don't see white people doing stuff like this.
No.
Right? But somehow white people are a threat to democracy, and
they're the biggest threat in America.
Yeah, the biggest threat in America. But all I see is this behavior from these little, hoodlums. Almost every other story. So it's the behavior is just driving me. It's driving me nuts to see that this is this is continuous.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't want to go to the beach. I don't want to go to Miami no more,
man. I say throw that little nigga away. Throw him away.
Yeah.
He's already robbing people with guns, selling dope, brandishing a firearm in public. Throw that nigga away. He's 16.
Yeah, dumpster baby.
He's 16. He's almost a grown man. Fucking throw him away. What are the chances that he's going to turn his life around? Slim to none. Throw that fucking menace under the jail. Make him slave in the hot Florida sun all day long until he ceases to exist. Are you fucking kidding me? That is a rotten apple to the core. I don't got time for that shit. Your parents should have made you good. We're on to the punishment phase. We can't take this car called life and we can't turn it around. It's too long to me. People are involved. Fuck that. We're on to the punishment phase. It's a wrap. You're done, you little niglet. You're a bad apple. You're finished. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. And well, like you said, it never ceases to amaze. Well, GION, prepare to be amazed by this. Florida mother facing charges after gun found in her child's lunchbox at daycare. Can we get a fucking wood chipper big enough to fit this lady in? Because you're done, bitch. You sent your kid to school with a gun in his fucking lunchbox at daycare? That means he's too young to go to school. That means he's like 3. He's like 3 years old. Again, here at STF Enterprises, Inc., International Incorporated, we do not condone violence against women. But if somebody were to do this to her, this is how many tears I would shed. Right? Does she not deserve that? For sending her fucking toddler to daycare with a gun. Wow. Let's see. Let me ask you this, GION, before I read the article. Do you think there's a father in the home? Oh, never mind. That was stupid. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. A West Palm Beach mother, facing charges after a gun was found inside her child's lunchbox last week at a Riviera. There's no little button to flick where you see the red dot. That means it's hot, and you put it down. It's not. No, as soon as you chamber around, it is hot. So that dumb bitch, it's not too far-fetched to think she was stupid enough to load it before she put it in there. If that baby would have grabbed that gun turned to one of his classmates and pulled the trigger, shot one of his classmates, shot the teacher, shot himself. It's bad. And imagine being the cop who gets the call. What's that dispatch? A lunchbox? It's bad. That's just terrifying for the other parents, for anybody at the school daycare, said Al Cancel. And then that's another thing, the other parents. You're at work going throughout your day and you get a call that your kid's face was blown off at daycare. It's scary. I mean, you know, when I'm sending my kid to school thinking that he's going to be safe. I mean, are they? I don't know, said Stephanie Warrenborg. Riviera police said the boy's mother, 39-year-old Shanae Davis, told them that she normally keeps the gun in her glove box. But lately, her apartment complex has seen several break-ins, so she's been taking the gun inside. On Thursday, she placed the gun inside her son's lunchbox because she doesn't carry a purse, but she forgot to take it out. Hours later, she got a call from the daycare telling her to get there right away. Parents say, while having a gun is a safety precaution, incidents like this are a reminder of how important it is to keep these weapons away from children. I think she might have been a fucking child mentally. Things that are extremely preventable, you need a gun purse. You need a plan with your gun. You have it in your gun purse. You walk into your home, it goes in a safe or a specific place which is gun safe, like you would make your child safe or make your pet safe, said Kimberly Worth. Davis is facing several charges, including child neglect. Can you charge somebody with being a dumb fuck? Make that a charge. Now, the lady lives in an apartment complex that has so many break-ins, she had to take the gun in the house. So what do you think this little boy or girl's home life is like? Do you think there's proper nutrition, bedtime? Do you think that kid hears a lot of cussing? Bitch, the fuck? That kid hears a lot of that. That kid hears a lot of fucking, I told that bitch. That's what that kid hears all the time. That kid probably has a steady diet of fucking Takis and Red Bull. I guarantee you that kid has silver teeth in his mouth. That kid comes from the worst conditions possible, surrounded by a bunch of fucked up ghetto bitches wearing weaves and fucking bonnets on their head and pajama pants. If you wear pajama pants out in public, I know your vagina smells like ass. Are you kidding me? You took the gun in the house? You don't own a gun safe? What the fuck made you put it in your kid's lunchbox? Wait a minute. If she put it in the lunchbox, that either means the lunch was already packed and she put it in there with the food, or this retarded bitch saw the gun in there and still put food in there and packed the lunch with the gun in there. Then you forget. Damn, where'd I put my Glock? Oh, it's in my baby. Then when you fucking put it in the kid's backpack or you handed it to the kid, you didn't say, shit, what I put in here? That's a heavy lunch. Because a loaded gun is heavy. Hold that. Find Shanae Davis, hold her down, and give her a hysterectomy. Scoop that bitch out like a pumpkin when you're about to carve it. You know, you take out all the slime and the seeds. Scrape her out. You get no more children. What the fuck, GION?
Oh man, you know what? All I was thinking about was, of course, she looks like what she did. She looked like, show me Shanae Davis. And it's like, oh man, of course,
Of course, she looks like that,
right? Like, of course, that's her. And I'm just not shocked, man. I'm just not. I'm honestly just not shocked at all. Like, I'm just like, here we go. It's just another day. How many times has she probably done that? What possesses you to put literally a gun in a lunchbox? You know it's your kids. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I got these new pair of shoes. Let me go ahead and put my, you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and put my Glock in this shoebox and forget all about it. You know where your guns are at all times. You do. You don't forget. That's not something you just forget. So imagine just going to school and just being like, oh, what'd your mom make? Yeah, I got peanut butter and jelly this time. Oh yeah, what'd you get? Lunchables. They're like, hey, what'd you get, little Tyranius?
Oh, you know that little kid's name is some fucked up shit like that.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Darcharius, Larvarius, some bullshit.
Larvae. Oh shit, larvae for short.
Little Latrarian. What'd you get for lunch? See, I got a sandwich, some Takis, and a fucking Glock 43.
Yeah, you didn't get one? Dude, that is just too hilarious to me that's even a thing that happened. But then again, like I said, man, I'm kind of not shocked, to be honest. And once again, she looks exactly how I would picture her to look. Like, yeah, that's her. You did that. That's a you thing. Not shocked.
Why do they not take her to the Everglades and find some fucking gators? What are they gonna do? You know they're not. You know, if she goes to jail, you know they're gonna give the kid back to her when she gets out. You're gonna send that kid back to that crazy bitch. And do you think that Chardarian is her only child? She's 39. You know that bitch started having kids when she was like 14, at least. Laquarian is fucked. If you don't get him into a family like The Blind Side or Kaepernick, that kid is going to be the victim of that Glock 43. Somebody's going to kill him.
Sharquishius.
Yeah, just put a bunch of fucking sounds together, and that's this kid's name.
Dude, that's going to be the next show is names, okay?
Names. Lideratron. What the
Lamarcus.
Yeah, they just take a name and put La in front of it.
Yeah.
LaMichael. That is James or some shit. Get the fuck out of here. You know, my brother told me one time when he was a substitute teacher, he said, and he was in Savannah, Georgia, at some ghetto ass school. And he said one of the kids' name was Tion, but it was spelled Teeonne because his stupid ass mama spelled it out phonetically. She didn't know that you could have shortcuts by using certain letters. She spelled that shit out phonetically. If you name your kid Shardaratron, you can't take that baby home from the hospital.
Right.
That baby's ours now. He's ours. If the father isn't there, if he's not deployed overseas or fucking dead and he's not there, you can't take that baby home because you're sending him into an environment where his dumbass mama is going to put a gun in his lunchbox, or there's going to be roaches, or she's going to leave him in front of the TV with a pile of food on the floor so she can go get her did. And I'm not making that shit up. That happens. There was a fucking lady in Minnesota who, during the wintertime, she went to the club. She left a space heater in her house. Her kids knocked it over, and all 6 of her fucking kids burned to death. Because the bitch wanted to go to the club. These other kids were found by their neighbors. They had been alone for 8 hours because their mom went to the salon. They were found naked with roaches and filth in the house. This shit happens. bruh. I thought it was illegal to have sex with a retarded person. That's against the law, right? Well, somebody broke that law because she is clearly retarded. Oh my God. I'm talking about this story tomorrow on my fucking channel. This guys, the fucking kid had a gun in his lunchbox or her lunchbox. Thomas Bailey says they get stupid with these Afrocentric names for real. These are Afro nothing. This has nothing to do with Africa or anything like that. This is ghetto shit. This is ghetto. These are ghetto names. These are nigga names. It has nothing to do with that. It's just ghetto, uneducated dumbasses having fucking babies. My God. One of those kids could have been killed or shot. I forgot. All right, bitch. I'm gonna forget too.
Right? Lock you up and forget all about it. Didn't we lock some bitch up the other day? Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh boy. Wow, man.
Fuckery fails, man. I need something to cleanse my palate.
Seriously though, after all of that, I was just like, God, this is draining.
Guys,
wow.
As a parent, in society in general, there's a level of trust that you have to have with your fellow citizens. There's a level of trust that I have to have with you when I drop off the most precious thing in my life. And I have to be able to assume that it's not going to be, my kid's not going to be shot at daycare. All right, hopefully this will give us a chuckle and force that drop of anger blood to go back into your nasal cavity. Yeah, you ain't jacking off of that hand for a while. Yeah, I've had that before.
Wow.
Oh my, see? That was fun. Oh shit.
Dang.
I love these. Get your finger off the trigger, dummy.
Oh.
There goes your face.
Yep.
I saw that one coming. There goes your nose. There goes your eye. Stupid ass. Yep.
I don't know why they don't think this stuff is not a toy, man.
I knew it. You don't point the gun at somebody like that. Are you fucking crazy? God damn.
Jeez Louise.
I love the Arab ones, like the Arab dudes shoot big ass guns. Look at this shit.
Yeah. Is that a BB?
No, it's a fucking revolver. Fucking idiot.
Wow. Better hope you don't have no one living above you, man.
Jesus, man. People are so fucking dumb. There's no background check that's going to stop that.
Nope.
Normally you wouldn't do this, but because ever want to point your gun because you never.
Oh yeah. Yep. Saw that coming. He looked like a little sissy boy.
Don't do that.
What are you doing? Oh my dude.
I would have blown your fucking head everywhere.
I don't. I don't have much faith in people, man. I'm sorry.
You got shot. Yep. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Yeah, you did. You sure did, Garrett.
Ooh, you shoot your dick off?
That's what holsters are for. You know what I mean?
No, that's where he put it.
No, I know. Shot himself in the
911 right now. Shot myself in the
Dude.
dick.
Did you mean to do that?
Yeah, I meant to shoot myself in the dick, fool.
Did you mean to do that?
Can
Yeah.
you suck the bullet out for me?
And the blood?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Bro. Oh my. These people are retarded.
That's what you
Unreal.
get. That's what you
You
get.
don't put the, do they not understand?
Look at this fool. With your fucking t-shirt and your khakis, you dumb fuck.
It's gonna hit him. Yep.
Look how he bounced like, ooh, he's scared as fuck.
That could have been bad news.
Like, how loose were you holding on to it, you stupid fuck? Like, the gun shouldn't fly out of your hand like that.
Dude, kick this. They're so, oh, God, they're dumb. I'm sorry. They're just so stupid.
Dude, when you have big guns like that, like shotguns, or big caliber guns that are small, you gotta fucking lean into it.
Yeah, it's got a kickback. That's literally what they call it. Damn, girl.
Fuck, she just shooting everywhere. Fuck.
She just shot herself. Oh.
What the
Wow.
fuck, man?
Man,
When
you
you're
lose faith in people pretty quick.
Dude, when you're handling guns like that, you gotta grip that shit tight and lean into it because it's gonna kick back like a son of a bitch. Wow. Yeah, in a word, thank you, Heather. Golly.
She's probably out there like rolling her eyes like, oh, idiots. Oh, imbeciles.
Come on.
But it's like what Jericho said. Jericho said you have to, when you own a firearm, you have to train. Obviously, these people are kind of just mishandling firearms. They're stupid. It's just like when you go to a shooting range, you keep the barrel pointed down range. You don't take it. You don't do all this other stuff. These people are just careless. They're dumb. They just make me lose hope in people, because if we have people like that operating firearms, yeah, you make it look bad for the rest of us.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
My son is 8 years old. My daughter is 12. They know. That's the first thing I taught them. You keep that gun pointed down range. You don't muzzle anything or anybody, meaning taking the gun and going like this and pointing the muzzle at anybody. You keep it down range, and you do not put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to shoot. Mm-hmm. I drilled that shit into their heads. I drilled it into my son's head so much that when he's playing with his Nerf gun, he keeps his finger like this off the fucking trigger until he's ready. These are children, and these dumbasses are adults, and they almost blew their fucking face off. One dude shot himself in the dick.
Man.
But this is, you take all the gun owners in America, this is like a fucking granule of sand size portion of that population who are that fucking stupid. Golly, man.
I'm telling you, it makes you lose hope.
The close calls are the ones that really kill me. The dude who will like look down the barrel. Is this a cartoon? Oh, shit.
That was bad. That was very bad.
Is this a fucking cartoon? All right, please make me laugh.
I couldn't believe it.
Holy shit.
The Constitution does not decree the right to keep and bear arms. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
The NRA believes that America's laws should be obeyed, and we will defend the right to bear arms
by any means necessary. We will not be docile for our oppressors.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're with the NRA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a problem?
No.
No, of course not. The NRA thinks that everyone should have guns.
Yes, all my brothers should have guns. And we will not rest until we are roaming the streets heavily armed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How many brothers do you have?
Our numbers grow daily with every hate crime or case of police brutality.
Good. Why do you want to own guns again?
It's my right.
Right. But the Second Amendment also mentions a well-regulated militia.
We have a well-regulated militia.
Do you? Where do you live again?
That sounds like a background check.
No.
We would never do anything like that. Background checks are
An invasion of privacy.
right.
A right is a right. It doesn't have to be justified.
Correct. That's right. Absolutely.
And it is my right to defend myself against a racist government.
Whoa. All right. The government for sure overreaches and we hate them. But they aren't racist.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
You would if you came from where I come from.
Yeah. Where is that again?
I'm from the land that enslaved my ancestors.
Right. All right. Okay. Let's just show a little bit of control with the gun.
Gun control is not necessary. What we need is gun education. You see, this trigger right here, the slightest pressure from my finger, I could send enough bullets to rip your body in half.
Best not to be too cavalier with this, son. It could kill someone.
Yeah, guns can kill. So can knives. What, you gonna try and take away my knives too?
Yes. What do you need that thing for?
Hunting.
Hunting season is over, man.
That depends on who you hunt.
Who you're hunting?
Was that?
You said who?
Yeah. Who you're hunting or what you're hunting?
Who are you hunting?
What did I say?
You said who?
I said who?
He said, what I said.
Who?
You said who?
From my cold, dead hand.
Hey, I wish there were more black folks who own guns. Regular black folks, not niggas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Everybody should go. I wish every woman had a gun, especially if she lives by herself.
Mm-hmm.
There's monsters, there's boogeymen out there.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to do there with the skit, but like at the same time, like him being, a quote unquote Black Panther, I'm like, if you actually do some research on the Black Panthers, I'm like, they were socialists, they were communists.
Yeah,
that was not something, them having guns and doing what they were doing was definitely a problem for the country. So,
maybe
but I
not
mean,
those
it
kind of
was,
black folks.
Yeah, not them, not them. Well, it's my right. That's why they were doing that. It's my right. Yeah, but it's also not your right to terrorize. But honestly, like you need
to give it up because like you're scaring me. Like, is there a Y in scare? Scaring me.
I'm so scared right now.
You're scaring me. Okay. All right. The screen is shared.
For thousands of years, humanity lived in peace without any murders or violence at all.
I don't know about that.
And then, firearms were invented by notorious business partners Bill Weapon and Cornelius Gunn. Personkind was instantly plunged into a horrifying hellscape of death and destruction. And it's all thanks to guns. Here are some facts about these deadly weapons of mass destruction that you might not know. This is a deadly scoped semi-auto revolver with an extended mag clip. A gun just like this one was used to kill Abraham Lincoln. If guns hadn't been invented, Lincoln would still be alive today. This is a 9mm handgun. Though I measured it, it's actually much bigger than that. This is one of the most powerful, fully semi-automatic, loaded assault firearms on the planet. Let's take this to the range and see what it does to a human being.
9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body.
As you can see, his lung was blown right out of his body. And he's a dummy. It didn't even have lung. Terrifying. This is the most fearsome weapon of all, the AR-15, which stands for Assault Rifle with a power level of 15. It's so heavy you can barely lift it. Help me! Help me! Help me! As heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving
It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
This is the shoulder thing that
That's
goes
good.
up. Scary. This is the trigger which decides
boy.
whom to murder without any human input
Murder
whatsoever.
button.
This is the antenna which receives orders
Oh,
from
this is
Nazi
great.
Germany.
From Nazi
This
Germany.
is a rail which can be used for all sorts of deadly attachments, from a chainsaw bayonet and a Bible attachment to a MAGA hat launcher.
Oh, that's the
This
worst
is
one.
the 50 caliber round commonly used
Not the
in
MAGA hat.
AR-15s. Let's go ahead and load it in through the 30 clip magazine.
30 magazine clip.
Jesus.
Now this gun is ready to blow the head right off of a target, decapitating them instantly. Let's see this weapon of war in action. Trigger warning. This is really scary. And finally, this is the
Fireworks.
Fortnite GL Blaster. It fires deadly rocket grenades that punk 12-year-olds use to blow up your pathetic fort structures. And then they say horrible things about your mother and floss over your dead body. These WMDs are just horrible. But one thing that these facts can't tell you about is the human cost. Firing these guns, even for this brief demonstration, has given me a severe case of post-traumatic stress disorder, from which I may never recover. The deafening roar of a .22 mm echoes in my nightmares. I can't watch a Matthew McConaughey movie where he pulls a gun out without collapsing into a puddle on the floor. I'm constantly fearful that Alec Baldwin may be in the room with me at any moment, ready to shoot me.
That's real.
Friends don't
Right.
let friends buy magic white man fire sticks. They are weapons of war, but also they are useless against tyrannical rulers anyway. So give up your guns to the government so they can supply them to Ukraine or the Taliban.
Fucking true that. True that. Remember when they armed all the Ukrainians? They sent them weapons so they could fight.
Mm-hmm. And they're losing.
Badly, even though we've given them over $100 billion. I tell you what, you give me $100 billion, I'm gonna win.
Right.
I tell you that much. I'm gonna fucking win. Nobody's gonna kick my ass with a $100 billion fucking or 150 or $60 billion budget. I'm not losing. I
Oh,
promise you
absolutely.
Who is it? Like, you're done. With that kind of budget, kind of weapons you could buy with that, shit, I'm not losing.
Yeah.
But when you give it to a fucking cokehead, you know?
Yeah. And then you wonder why gas is $5-6 because, they're just decreasing our value of money and causing inflation due to reckless government spending that we didn't consent to. But anyways.
Reckless what? Reckless
I'm like,
government?
and they got like,
Yeah, that's not even true. Yeah, it's more likely they're sending our money to Jung. But yeah, that shit's crazy, man. They arm the fucking their citizens, but our citizens can't be armed. But when
First
you give
of all,
$150 billion to a cokehead,
I just want to reiterate the fact he said, if guns haven't been invented, Abraham Lincoln would be alive today.
and that nobody was killed before. There was no murder before weapons, before guns.
That was too good.
There might be a few 100 million or billion people who would disagree with that, who were killed by fucking swords and spears and rocks and all kinds of shit. One thing about humans, we are pretty good about killing each other for a long time. We master that shit first.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's the last one, the Bezit show. Agent Richard Bezit. This guy, I feel like he's going to have a lot of good information. Pay attention, people.
Hey, guys, Richard Brzee here. Thanks all for coming out. Special thanks to the NRA for letting us do this. We couldn't do our jobs without them doing their jobs, and they do a great job of supporting us, and they always have. And so we really like them, and we appreciate them bringing you all here to listen to our speech. All right, so first off, we're the ATF, and we're going to be explaining how simple gun laws are. Click. What you are going to be learning in this presentation is 1, why are gun owners such crybabies? The law isn't hard, you're just not believing hard enough. Get harder with me, Agent Richard Brzee. All right, first slide here. Click. We're going to talk about pistols. Look at that. It's very simple. It's a pistol. Everybody knows what a pistol is, and that's a pistol. Click. Look at this. This isn't a pistol. This is an AOW. I see that it kind of looks like a pistol, but it's clearly not a pistol.
Ooh, I want one of those.
Who made this PowerPoint?
And those.
That's a pistol. Also a pistol. Apparently, don't need a tax stamp for that one. Click. All right. Let's go back. Click. Okay, so this one's a pistol. Next, click. This one's a rifle. Apparently, this is a rifle. Oh, because it has a stock. It's got a shoulder thing in the back there. So this one's a rifle. Let's just move on. Next. All right, so here we got a rifle. As you can see, everything's in there. It's a 14 and a half inch barrel that's been pinned to 16. Got a nice banana clip. Perfect rifle. Click. Well, this looks like the same. What's different here? All right, this is an SBR. This is illegal. You'll go straight to jail for this one. Pay your $200 tax stamp or go straight to jail. Hold on, we're going to go back again and see the difference between this one and the previous one. Click. All right, so this one's a rifle. Click. This one's an SBR. All right, moving on. Next. This one's a pistol. All right, SBR. Click. This one's a pistol. This one's a pistol. Looks like it's fine. Everything's fine with it. You can have this. No tax stamp. All right, let's move on. Next. Click. This one is an AOW.
It says it's so simple.
This was an AOW. Straight to jail on this one.
Straight to jail.
Well, this looks this. All right, let's go back. Click. All right, this one's an AOW. It's in red. You go to jail for it. Next.
Just to be sure, you know what I mean? I don't
this
want to miss
one is
anything.
not an AOW. Oh, the grips are different. See, the grip's a little bit different. That makes a big difference, apparently. 10 years in prison for that little grip thing there. Next. All right, so here we got a rifle. Pretty much the same rifle we've been looking at this whole time. That's great. Everything's legal there. Next, click. And now it's a machine gun. All right, so let's go back. Click.
We changed our mind.
Forward. Click.
Oh, God.
Yeah, these are the same gun, but it used to be a rifle, but now it's a machine gun because we said it's a machine gun now. So, all right, moving on. Making this easy for you guys. Next. Oh, this isn't a rifle or a pistol. This is just a gun. These are called Title I firearms for those of you who aren't in the know. Pretty simple stuff here. Next. Okay, now it's a short-barreled shotgun. Yep, that's a short-barreled shot. All right, we're moving on.
Oh.
Those are good. Next.
Oh, God.
And they're a machine gun. Yeah, you know, I've been working for the ATF for a while, and that's a real thing. You can really have shoelaces be machine guns, and that's why we determined that shoelaces can, in fact, be machine guns. That's just something that we do down here. That's how we get things done. Next. All right, so if you got any questions, now would be the time to ask. If you do have any questions after that very informative demonstration and PowerPoint I just gave, you're probably just a criminal, and, well, you should probably just go to jail.
That is fucking ridiculous. The ATF should be disbanded along with the IRS. Like, that's stupid. There should be, like, I should be able to have whatever I want. And these stupid little, well, if you put this on it, it's bad. And if you don't, like, shut the fuck up. That's so stupid. Golly, but I want to get one of those conversion kits for my Glock. That thing's sick. You just take it, you put the Glock in there, and now it's like shoulder. Oh, man. I want to get one of those. But that is such ridiculous bullshit. And that just goes to show that anytime the government gets involved, shit gets complicated and usually bad for us.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. It gets bad for us. They're fine. You think the ATF and all those government organizations, all those acronyms, all those alphabet organizations, you think they're tripping off of, well, forward grip and the muzzle's not going to put, they're not tripping off that shit. They get whatever they want that can shoot as fast as it wants. Then drum magazines, extended magazines, they get all the shit they want. But you, the one who should have all of this shit to protect yourself from them, no, we want you to just basically have a slingshot. That's it.
Right? Illegal. It's illegal if it comes out the front of the barrel, it's illegal.
Yeah. But I guarantee you open up the ATF armory and they got all that shit. Fully automatic, everything. So why can you have it? Because you work for the fucking government, but I can't have it. When you work for me, the government, you work for me. That's like your employee telling the boss what they can't have.
Right.
Man, this shit is.
Oh, that was good. That was too good, man.
That was.
I liked all of those.
Well, good videos, good topic, great topic. So what will it be next time? Probably names. Or
name sounds really good.
I think we should tackle the platonic relationship thing. I think that would be a good one. But yeah, whatever it's gonna be fucking amazing. It's gonna be informative. It's gonna be hilarious. We may have Tory D on here to see if Tory D got the D.
Right.
But yeah, man, that'll be a good one. So it's gonna be fire. Make sure you guys are here. Gian, is there anything that people need to know?
Of course there is. Number one is first of all, how'd you guys like the first video on the channel? There's gonna be more. Should be another one dropping tomorrow, if not 2 tomorrow. Facts only, of course, go on there. That's the one that I'm operating right now over my GION page for the moment. Although I'm gonna get that stuff together as well pretty soon. And yeah, I mean, we're just on this channel gonna get some more shorts and all this stuff together. Things are getting planned out. The more subscribers that we get on here, the more we're able to do. You know, that's memberships, that's merchandise, all that good stuff. So just make sure that you guys share and like, and we fuck up the algorithm so that way people can gravitate towards the channel and help us stop this massive fucking stench of fuckery that we keep on seeing every other Thursday.
Massive, man. Massive.
Fucking massive, bro.
Brev. Yes. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share my new channel, Green's House. I just did a great interview on there with a child behaviorist. A lot of cool shit. Shout out to Christine Daniels. Look out for the merch. I'm working on that. And I made some changes to my Jericho Green channel. I got the thumbnails popping. Some editing in there of the language. I'm not going to stop using language, but I'm going to edit some of it. I just want to appeal to a wider audience, you know, spread the message. But yeah, check that shit out. You see all of our links and stuff in the description box. Best thing of all, this didn't kill me. I'm still here. So there goes the gun violence bullshit. That's debunked because I had a loaded firearm in here. Nothing. So yeah, that was great.
Right.
And the story about the mother who sent her kid to school with a gun in his lunchbox, that fucking made me angry, and I haven't let go of that yet. So I'll be talking about that tomorrow because that's probably the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Thanks for that, Gian. But make sure you guys still continue to share this channel as it grows. As Gian said, we grow, we give more to you. So help us help you. And if nothing else, people, that right there was episode 11 of Stop the Fuckery. And we talked about them damn guns. So until Thursday after next, myself and Gian, yeah.